Johanna Cook, and you're watching Great Everyday Meals. We're making recipes with simple ingredients and basic cooking techniques. Today I am out of my kitchen into Chef Rick Gresh's kitchen at David Burke's Prime House, where he's the executive chef at the James Hotel in Chicago. He's going to make us how to make a perfect prime rib for Christmas at home. So I know that you're the man to go to, but before we go into our recipe and you showing us how to make the perfect prime rib, I want to congratulate you first. Our Chicago Magazine voted David Burke's Prime House, obviously with me as executive chef, as the #1 steakhouse here in Chicago, which is awesome because it's Chicago.
That's right. This is like steakhouse capital of the world.
Exactly. So. And you're well known for the aging process of the steaks here. Can you talk to us a little bit about it?
Sure. We actually have a U.S. patent on our aging process. So it's a temperature and humidity control group that's lined with about 200 blocks of Himalayan pink salt. And we age anywhere from 28 days up to 75 days. I actually have stuff that I'm aging for next May that'll be 1 year old.
So make your husband love May. You know, the steaks here, and they love you most of all, I think, which is what also helps with the restaurant. That you're such a good integral part of Chicago and the food scene and the community of chefs and foodies. And thank you for what you do, you know, to contribute. And also want to talk about, you know, for those who don't know your career and how you started, tell us how you started, because everyone these days wants to be a chef. There's a lot of young viewers out there who would love to do this as a career, and I always say you gotta start and chop veggies first for a restaurant, so you can figure out if it's really what you want to do, because it's not as fancy as it looks, as you make it look. Anyway.
No, it's not. It takes a lot to get here. And you know, I started actually when I was 15 in kitchens. This is actually the only job I've ever had working in restaurants. And really, I went to a vocational school when I was in high school, and then I went right to CIA in New York for college when I was 18. And I worked my way through New York. I worked, basically we have an industry term called staging. So, you know, that's when you go to a restaurant and work for free. So back in the mid-90s, you know, if there was a restaurant in New York, I worked in it for free. That's what I did. And after that, I went to Florida for 4 months, realized that that wasn't for me. Came to Chicago, haven't left.
Let's get started with this prime rib.
Okay, so this is about a 10-pound prime rib here, bone in. We've trimmed it just a little bit, and what we want to do is season it with some salt and pepper. And don't be afraid. Look at that. There's a lot of it. We're going to go for a long roasting period, and there's going to be a lot of this kind of falling off as we're roasting it. Make sure you season it well all over.
These are just the big, we all have salt and pepper, so don't be afraid of it. Use it.
No, absolutely. You know, and you know, get it in there. Press it on.
So good.
Really get it coated up.
Right.
So you season it up. And there's all this extra salt and pepper in the pan. Bye-bye.
Get rid of the extra salt and pepper. Okay.
So we just want what's on here to throw into the oven.
Got it.
The oven itself, 450 degrees. What we're looking for is a really deep golden brown crust. The whole browning of meat, that's called the Maillard reaction. That's what we love, right? Polito, miso, all that kind of boiled meat. Nobody loves that. We love browning of meat. So, throw this into the oven. Get a nice golden brown. That's going to take about a half an hour.
Just to get that crust.
Get that crust. That's the first step. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes. Take a look.
30 minutes. Gets that wow. Ooh, look at that. That looks good already. I know it's not cooked all the way yet, but that looks really good already.
So now what we want to do is we're going to take some mirepoix or onion, celery, and carrots.
I always tell people, you want to cook a restaurant style meal, get onions, carrots, celery, garlic.
That's it.
That's it, right?
Load up the pan with it, throw it in there. And we're just trying to, we're going to build some flavor. That's all we're doing here. All this is going to roast, it's going to be delicious, and it's going to give us the opportunity later on to really help with making the sauce for this. On top of that, garlic cloves.
Oh, there's tons.
There's tons of stuff.
God.
Throw some fresh herbs in there. I got thyme. You don't like thyme? Use rosemary.
Right.
Use marjoram.
Use what you love.
Use whatever you have. Throw it in there. Now,
that looks gorgeous.
Ready?
Yes.
Season the veg.
Season the veg.
They need some seasoning too, right?
Show them some love too.
That's it. So So the veg is seasoned. We're going to take the oven down to 225.
So low, slow.
225, 250, somewhere in there.
225.
Whatever you like.
Okay.
Throw this back in there.
That looks awesome.
Okay, so we're at 225. We're going to go for every pound about 15 minutes of cooking.
Okay.
And then what we want to do, like right now we can go have a beer. It's going to be a while.
Perfect.
The key is that about 20 minutes or half an hour before that, a lot of time, depending on the size of your roast, don't take the temperature of it. What we're looking for is about 118, 120 degrees, something like that. That's our target temperature. Pull it out of the oven at that point and let it rest and finish the sauce. But for now,
we can go hang out.
We go watch football.
So then, is there anything else we're going to be making that comes with the prime rib?
We're going to make the sauce.
We're going to make the sauce. So we're going to go ahead and make that sauce for the prime rib.
Okay, so it's nice and roasted. We pulled it out of the oven. I'm going to grab the roast.
Oh my God, look at that, people.
I'm going to set this over here on the cutting board to rest a little bit.
Okay.
Because we need to make the sauce. And what we're going to do is, we have the pan that we roasted and then all that veg and the herbs and juice and the bits. We're going to put it out right on the flame on the stove.
Okay.
And so this, again, this is where you can get creative. I want to use red wine. You can use white wine, bourbon,
whatever.
beer, whiskey, you know.
As long as there's alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, well, you know what? You can use apple juice. You know, it depends. Whatever you really want to go with. So we're going to throw this in there. And this is the glazing. What we want to do is we're going to get the heat going. And this is the part where you want to get in there with a spoon and scrape up all the little things on the bottom.
You cannot forget. That is the best part of anything.
Absolutely.
Is that stuff in the bottom.
You know, most people are like, oh my God, I got to wash dishes now.
Right? No, scrape it.
If you deglaze it from the sauce, you don't have to scrub the pan.
Right.
And so what we want to do is, there's a technique that we call reducing en sec in the industry. And so all that liquid that's in there, we want to reduce it until it's basically gone. And that's going to develop a lot of flavor.
Right.
And we're cooking that wine out and getting, otherwise it's going to kind of taste raw and alcohol.
Right.
So we want to get that cooked out.
And the sweetness of the wine and the vegetables. It's all going to come together so beautiful. And it smells so great. And you want to cook off the wine.
Absolutely.
The alcohol.
So, a couple minutes this will take, and then we'll get back at it.
And did you grow up in a family of good cooks?
I did. Yeah. We always cooked on Sunday afternoon. That was always my family's time of day. My mom was a big baker as well, and she still makes the best panoras. So.
Oh, yummy.
I'll tell you what, you know, my dad, usually on Saturday nights was my dad's night for cook. And so whether we were grilling, or pizzas, or things like that, and I had two older sisters, so they always wanted to go out, you know? They had to have dinner first. And that was sort of the rules of the road.
Right, you eat so you can go.
Everybody cooked in the house, everybody pitched in, and you know, and we talked. Right. What an amazing thing, right?
Right?
We talked at the dinner table.
And this looks amazing. So it's already reducing.
Yeah, we're close.
So there's a little bit more.
It's still got a little wetness to it. Give that a stir. See how dry that is?
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
Alcohol's gone.
Alcohol's gone. It's reduced down. It's almost a tight syrup. Now we're going to take a little veal stock.
Veal stock.
You can go to the grocery store and they have you know, the beef stock or chicken stock, whatever you want to use. We use the brown veal stock, which we got that brown color already. Yeah. That sweetness, that roastiness. It's going to match well with the meat. Yes. Now with this, what you want to do, make sure don't get like the high sodium heart attack stock.
Well, I always tell people low sodium you could add. Right. You could adjust it yourself. And
especially, we're going to reduce this. So if it starts with sodium, like that high sodium, you reduce it, it's only going to get salty. Right.
And that's the thing when you have to think about when you're reducing anything, that the flavors so you get saturated, intensify is the word I was looking for. So yeah, that looks awesome.
It's up to you as the consistency that you want, because this is the finished sauce. Right. So if you want it a little looser, leave it a little loose. If you want it super tight, reduce it down. Right.
And we didn't put any like flour in here or any like thickening agent, none of that stuff.
We're keeping it nice and clean
and
natural.
Yes.
And you know, again, if you're starting with a good product, you don't need a lot of that.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
And that's it. You just keep scraping it, making sure you're getting it nice and clean.
So awesome. And your family and friends are going to appreciate you so much for making this awesome meal.
So I mean, we're just about there. Yeah. Look how quick that was.
Yeah. So fast. So fast. And totally doable at home. I mean, this is why I was so excited to come here to do this recipe, because it really is something it's a memorable meal for Christmas when you're, bringing out the huge prime ribs.
Absolutely, do the show.
Yeah, do the whole thing, and you gotta do it right. Gotta do it right.
So I mean, I think the other thing is just make sure you pick a pan that you can put in the oven and put on the stove.
Yes, you have to crack it on you. That would be bad. Yes.
We're in a professional kitchen. We can put everything everywhere.
Right. So. At home, definitely make sure.
So what we're gonna do now is we turn it off.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get a strainer here.
Okay.
So yeah, you give that a hold. So
I'm gonna hold this for you.
Yep. So that's just a fine mesh strainer. Okay. If you don't have a fine mesh strainer, some cheesecloth, a clean T-shirt,
right,
something, right?
Right. You just want to catch this.
You want to catch all this and get it as clean as possible. At home, that's
At home, yeah, seriously, right?
So the other thing with this is take a ladle. Now this is how in the restaurant we push all the time. Push all that juice through. See how much juice is still in there?
Yeah, don't waste that good stuff.
Flavor. Give it a good push.
What a cool thing to get your teenager to do at home. Get them cooking with you.
Right? Now that's done.
Awesome.
Our sauce is ready.
Look at that sauce. You guys see that? Oh, that's a beautiful color. And it smells great.
There you go.
There you go.
Plate it up.
Okay. Just the exact temperature that we want is, let's tell them again.
So you want to pull it between 118 and 120 degrees. You're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes or so.
Resist the urge, people.
I know. Well, there's a couple things with that, right? Yeah. So we wanted to make the sauce while this is resting.
Right.
And also, it's a little gruesome how I tell this, but it needs to be told this way in my mind. So this is right now, before when it was in the oven, it was like it was just running a marathon. Right. The blood is pumping, the juices are going, and if you cut into that, it's going to go whoosh, right? That's, no.
Yeah.
You know, you want to
keep it in there.
Let it rest, let it be happy.
Right.
That's what we want to do. And so now, all we're going to do, now this is where you got to make choices.
Right.
So, if you're going to cut everybody a steak in between the bone, that's a big steak.
That's huge. Otherwise,
pick it up, put your knife right behind there, and just follow it down.
Get a sharp knife, please.
Yes. And the other thing is, as I'm doing this, as I'm cutting down, I'm pushing the knife against this bone. This is my guide.
So that's your guide.
Look at how clean that is.
That looks
all the meat that was there. And now, this is the other thing that everybody does. They cut meat like... No. Right? Nice, big,
swooping... Nice to it, yes.
Swooping slices.
Yeah.
Big slices.
Oh my goodness. Yum.
That looks pretty good.
That looks perfect. Perfect. Oh my.
There you go.
And that's the sauce we just made with onions and garlic and carrots, thyme. So simple. With
red wine and a little stock.
That's it.
Like, there's not a lot of ingredients in this dish.
Right. And look how gorgeous, beautiful, so festive. Of course, you can have whatever sides you'd like. And we're going to eat now. Let me get a piece of this. Oh my. And it wasn't hard at all. And definitely get a thermometer at home so that you can make sure that your meats are the perfect temperature that you can check.
You know, there's a ton of thermometers out there. So just get a good one.
Right.
And use it.
It'll last you forever, yeah. Oh my god. Perfect.
Tender.
Seasoned well. And we use salt and pepper. We didn't do anything exotic.
Nope.
Out of the world. But its taste is out of this world. So good. This is so great. Now, are there any other tips that you'd like to share?
I think the best thing is to get a good quality piece of meat. It starts with that. Make sure it's marbled nicely. And just follow the simple guidelines. Sear it hard, get that color, slow roast, pull it out between 118 and 120 degrees, and let it sit.
That is that simple, guys. We and Chef Rick hope that you go this Christmas, get yourself a really good piece of prime rib and make his recipe. We'll put it up on the website for you. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Great Everyday Meals. Make sure that you tune in again next week for our new episode. Thank you so much, Chef Rick, for being in this episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.